Gorgeous greetings everyone, I am Chini Almarago, here to talk to you about my assigned theorist named Rosemary Rizal Parse. Rosemary Rizal Parse was born in Pennsylvania in 1938. She went on to graduate from St. Francis Academy in 1956 and went on to receive her Bachelor of Science in Nursing from Duquesne in 1960, before moving on to the University of Pittsburgh and completing her Master's in Nursing in 1961 and her Doctorate in Nursing and Higher Education in 1969. She began her teaching career at the University of Pittsburgh while finishing her PhD and then accepting a position at Duquesne in 1966. She then worked as a Dean of the School of Nursing at Duquesne from 1977 to 1979 and left the university in 1983 to work as a professor and coordinator of the Center for Nursing Research at Hunter College of the City University of New York. She remained at Hunter College until she gained a position as the Niehoff Chair at Loyola University Chicago Niehoff School of Nursing in 1993. Dr. Parse has made a lot of honorable contributions to the field of nursing. More specifically, her theory of man-living health, which she then renamed the Human Becoming Theory of Nursing. The Human Becoming Theory of Nursing directs nurses to concentrate on quality of life as seen from each person's perspective as the purpose of nursing. Parse model rates quality of life from each person's own perspective as the goal of the practice of nursing. Rosemary Parse first published the theory in 1981 as the Man-Living Health Theory, and the name was changed to the Human Becoming Theory in 1992. This theory offers an alternative to the majority of other nursing theories, which uses a biomedical or biopsychosocial spiritual perspective. The Human Becoming Theory is a combination of biological, psychological, sociological, and spiritual factors, and states that a person is a unitary being in continuous interaction with his or her environment. The three major assumptions about human becoming are meaning, rhythmicity, and transcendence. Under the assumption meaning, human becoming is freely choosing personal meaning in situations in the intersubjective process of living value priorities. Man's reality is given meaning through lived experiences. In other words, person and the environment co-create. Rhythmicity states that human becoming is co-creating rhythmical patterns of relating in mutual process with the universe. Person and environment co-create through imaging, valuing, languaging, which are all rhythmical patterns. Transcendence explains that human becoming is co-transcending multidimensionally with emerging possibilities. It refers to reaching out and beyond the limits a person sets, that one constantly transforms. The nursing model defines the person as an open being who's more than and different from the sum of the parts. The environment is everything in the person and his or her experiences. The environment is inseparable from the person, as well as complementary to and evolving with the person. Health is the open process of being and becoming, and involves the synthesis of these values. Nursing is described as a human science and art that uses an abstract body of knowledge to help people. And that is all for Rosemary Rizal part. Now, I will be passing the floor to Jay Ignalig for the next part.
Thank you so much for that amazing presentation, Miss Chini. Now to proceed, Magis Day to everyone. I am Jaylord P. Ignalig, and I'm about to present to you Joyce Fitzpatrick and her life perspective rhythm model or theory. To start with, let us first know who Joyce Fitzpatrick is. Joyce Fitzpatrick was born on 1944. She took up Bachelor of Science in Nursing in Georgetown University and finished her Master of Science in Psychiatric Mental Health Nursing in Ohio State University. She also studied for her PhD in New York University and a Master of Business Administration from Case Western Reserve University. She also served as a fellow in the American Academy of Nursing in 1981. And in the present, she is currently working in Elizabeth Brooks Ford Professor of Nursing, Francis Payne Bolton School of Nursing, and Case Western Reserve University in Cleveland, Ohio. A little fun fact from Joyce Fitzpatrick. Did you know that Joyce Fitzpatrick created her model based on Martha Rogers' theory of unitary human beings? Proceeding now to her model, which is the life perspective rhythm model. This model is a complex nursing which contributes to nursing knowledge by providing a taxonomy for identifying and labeling nursing concepts to allow for their universal recognition and communication with others. Next is the major assumption on her life perspective rhythm model. So in her model, the process of human development is characterized by rhythms that occur within the context of continuous person-environment interaction. One assumption also states that nursing activity focuses on enhancing the development processes towards health. It's also assumed in her model that the central concern of nursing science and the nursing profession is the meaning attributed to life as the basic understanding of human existence. And lastly, the identification and labeling of concepts allows for recognition and communication with others, and the rules for combining those concepts permits through thoughts that should be shared through language. So now you might be wondering what are the core concepts of the life perspective rhythm model. There are 5 concepts in this model, namely the person, the health, wellness, illness, nursing, and meta paradigm. To start with, let us know about the first core concept, which is the person. Person includes both self and others. Person is seen as an open system, a unified whole characterized by a basic human rhythm. The model recognizes individual as having unique biological, psychological, emotional, social, cultural, and spiritual attitudes. Next is the health. In this model, the health is a dynamic state of being that results from the interaction of human and the environment. A human dimension under continuous development, a heightened awareness of the meaningfulness of the life. Optimum health is the actualization of both innate and obtained human potential gathered from rewarding relationship with others, goal-directed behavior, and expert personal care. Now let's proceed to the next, which is the wellness illness. In this concept, we must all know that professional nursing is rooted in the promotion of wellness practices. Next is nursing. In this model, nursing is a developing discipline whose central concern is the meaning attached to life. It has also been said that the primary purpose of nursing is the promotion and maintenance of an optimal level of wellness. And lastly is the meta paradigm. In this model, meta paradigm refers to the transition through basic meta paradigm concepts of person, environment, health, and nursing. Now proceeding to the next, which is the rhythmic system and the theoretical hypothesis. Within Joyce Fitzpatrick model, she views a person as an open, holistic rhythmic system that can be described by temporal motion, consciousness, and perceptual patterns. Joyce's theoretical hypothesis is individuals experiencing crisis had difficulty integrating the present situation within their life perspective. Now that we have already discussed what is Joyce Fitzpatrick model, let us proceed with the takeaways with this model. I think the power of this model is that it incorporates a health promotion perspective and that it is enough strength-based. The concept of health promotion is so critical in the nursing profession as it is an element that sets nursing apart from other health disciplines while contributing to defining meaning within our profession. This model can be incorporated into most practice areas within nursing, bringing a holistic lens to the way nursing view patients. This statement of mine is proved when Joyce Fitzpatrick in 2008 said that as clinicians, nurses intervene on a daily basis to help individuals understand the meanings that are significant in their lives and assist them to grow and learn from their life experiences, no matter how traumatic or pervasive the stress and suffering. And that is all that you need to know about Joyce Fitzpatrick and her life perspective model. Let me call on Miss ZP Medallia to present to you our next theorist of the day. ZP, are you there?
Thank you for that elaborative presentation, Mr. Jaylord. Good day to everyone. I am Zippy Moss H. Medallia and I will introduce you to Boykin and Schoenhoffer's theory entitled The Theory of Nursing is Caring, a Model for Transforming Practice. To start off, let me introduce our theory's biographies. In Kaukauna, Wisconsin, Anne Boykin was raised as the sixth and the oldest child. After graduating from Alverno College in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, she started her nursing profession in 1966. She earned her doctorate from Vanderbilt University in Nashville, Tennessee, and her master's degree from Emory University in Atlanta, Georgia. Boykin's academic writing is focused on caring as the foundation of nursing. This is demonstrated in her books, Living a Caring-Based Program and Nursing as Caring, a Model for Transforming Practice, from 1993 to 2001. She has also authored multiple book chapters and articles and works as a consultant on the subject of caring locally, regionally, nationally, and worldwide. Boykin still fascinates and feeds her passion for the natural world today. She also has a long-standing commitment to the advancement of knowledge in the discipline, especially regarding the phenomenon of caring. Positions she has held in the International Association for Human Caring include President-elect from 1990 to 1993, President from 1993 to 1996, and member of the Nominating Committee from 1997 to 1999. Next is Savannah O. Schoenhoffer. She spent her formative years on the family's cattle ranch in Kansas after being born as the second and oldest child in the family of 9. She has a granddaughter named Emma and a daughter named Carrie. She finished her undergraduate and graduate nursing, psychology, and counseling degrees at Wichita State University. She also obtained her initial nursing education. At Kansas University, she earned a PhD in Educational Foundation and Administration in 1993. Dr. Schoenhoffer serves on the Ethics Advisory Committee at the University of Mississippi Medical Center, and she is also a professor of nursing at the University of Mississippi Medical Center School of Nursing in Jackson, and an adjunct professor at the Florida Atlantic University College of Nursing. Dr. Schoenhoffer is committed to the study of nursing as caring. The concept of the theory of nursing as caring, a model for transforming practice. The discipline of knowledge and professional practice is nurturing persons living and growing in care. This is also the sensitivity and skill in creating unique and effective ways of communicating care are developed through the nurse's intention to care for the people. Next is the conceptual model of theory nursing as caring, a model for transforming practice. According to Boykin and Schoenhoffer, the theory of nursing as caring offers a view that permits a broad, encompassing understanding of any and all situation of nursing practice. The theory serves as an organizing framework for nursing scholars in the various roles of practitioner, researcher, administrator, teacher, and developer. The first one is caring. It is a discipline and a profession nursing uniquely focuses on as its central value. Caring, its primary interest, and the direct notion of its practice. Caring is lived out by each person moment to moment and is an essential characteristic of being human. The focus of nursing from the perspective of the theory of nursing as caring is that the discipline of knowledge and professional practice is nurturing persons living and growing in caring. The general intention of nursing is to know persons as caring and to support and sustain them as they are living caring. Nurse situation, or the nursing situation. The practice of nursing, thus the practical knowledge of nursing, lives in the context of person with person caring. The nurse situation involves particular values, intentions, and actions of two or more persons choosing to live a nursing relationship. Nursing situation is understood to mean the shared lived experience in which caring between nurse and the nursed enhance personhood. Next is personhood. It is understood to mean living grounded in caring. From the perspective of the theory of nursing as caring, personhood is the universal human call. Calls for nursing. Calls for nursing are calls for nurturance through personal experience of caring. Calls for nursing originate with persons as they live out caring uniquely and expressing personal meaningful dreams and aspirations for growing in caring. The nurse responds. The nurse enters the nursing station with the intentional commitment of knowing the other person as a caring person. and in that knowing, acknowledging, affirming, and celebrating the person as caring. Nursing responses are uniquely created for the moment and cannot be predicted or applied or pre-planned protocols. The caring between. The caring between is the source and ground of nursing. It is the loving relationship in which a nurse and the caring between is the source and ground for nursing. The nurse enter and co-created by living the intention to care. Lived meaning of nursing as caring. Clarity of the call for nursing emerges as the nurse begins to understand that this particular man or this particular person in this particular moment is going to be known as a uniquely caring person, a person of value, worth, respect, and regard. Lastly, we will discover the assumptions made by the theorists in relation to the four concepts of meta-paradigm in nursing. The theory of nursing as caring to the person is that the person are caring by the virtue of their humanness. According to Boykin and Schoenhoffer, the belief that persons are caring by the virtue of their humanness sets forth the ontological and ethical basis on which the theory is grounded. Each person throughout his or her life grows in the capacity to express caring. To start with person. Persons are whole and complete in the moment. The belief that persons are caring by the virtue of their humanness sets forth the ontological and ethical basis in which the theory is grounded. Being a person means living caring, through which being and possibilities are known to the fullest. Each person throughout his or her life grows in the capacity to express caring. The assumption that all persons are caring does not require that each act of a person be caring, but it does require the acceptance that fundamentally, potentially, and actually each person is caring. Persons are whole and complete in the moment. The view of the person as caring and complete is intentional, offering a unifying lens for being present with the other that prevents segmenting into such parts of the world and of the body, mind, and spirit. Through this lens, the person is at all times whole with no insufficiency, brokenness, or absence of something. Last, for the person, persons live caring, moment to moment. Caring is a lifetime process that's lived by moment to moment and constantly unfolding. In the rhythm of life experiences, we continually develop expressions of ourselves as caring persons. Actualization of the potential to express caring varies in the moment. As competency in caring is developed through life, we come to understand what it means to be a caring person, to live caring, and to nurture each caring person as each other. Next component is health. Personhood is living life grounded in caring. Personhood is a process of living caring and growing in caring. It is being authentic, demonstrating congruence between beliefs and behavior, and living out the meaning of one's life. Personhood acknowledges the potential for unfolding caring possibilities moment to moment. From the perspective of nursing as caring, personhood is the universal human call. The following is the environment. Personhood is enhanced through participating in nurturing relationships with caring others. As a process, personhood acknowledges the potential of persons to live caring and is enhanced through participation in nurturing relationship with caring others. The nature of relationships is transformed through caring. Lastly, nursing is both a discipline and a profession. It is a discipline. Nursing is a way of knowing, being, valuing, and living in the world, and is envisaged as a unity of knowledge within a large unity. The discipline of nursing attempts to be discovery, creation, development, and refinement of knowledge needed for the practice of nursing. Thank you once again for listening. I am Zippy Moss Medalia, and I introduced you to Boykin and Schoenhoffer's theory titled The Theory of Nursing is Caring, a Model for Transforming Practice. Let me now call on Ms. Bea Moncay to discuss the next theory.
Thank you for that, Zippy, and a lovely day to you all. The next theory we'll be working on and we'll be tackling on is Paterson and Zderad's theory on the humanistic nursing theory. We will now proceed to talking about the biography of both authors. So for the first author, we have Josephine G. Paterson. She was born on September 1, 1924 in Freeport, New York. She is a graduate of Lenox Hill Hospital, School of Nursing, and St. John's University. She received her master's degree from Johns Hopkins University School of Hygiene and Public Health from Baltimore, Maryland. Her Doctor of Nursing Science from 1969 is from Boston University School of Nursing from Boston, Massachusetts, where she specialized in mental health and psychiatric nursing. Dr. Paterson conceptualized and taught humanistic nursing to graduate students, faculty, staff in a variety of settings. She also served on the faculty of State University of New York at Stony Brook. She then retired in 1985 as a clinical nurse specialist at the Northport Veterans Administration Medical Center at Northport, New York. The next author of the humanistic nursing theory is Loretta Zderad. She was born on June 7, 1925, Chicago, Illinois. She is a graduate of St. Bernard's Hospital, School of Nursing, and of Loyola University. She received her master's degree of science degree from Catholic University at Washington, D.C., and a doctor of philosophy from 1968 from Georgetown University, also from Washington, D.C. She has taught in several universities and has led groups on humanistic nursing. Dr. Zderad also served as a faculty of the State University of New York at Stony Brook. She then retired at 1985 as the Associate Chief of Nursing Education at the Northport Veterans Administration Medical Center at Northport, New York. We will now be moving on to the theory of humanistic nursing theory made by Paterson and Zderad. Paterson and Zderad's humanistic nursing theory applies both humanism and essentialism to the nursing theory. Humanism makes an effort to view each person's potential from a wider angle and seeks to comprehend each person in light of their unique life experiences. Essentialism is a philosophical approach to understanding life, the idea that a human being, a feeling, acting, living being is where thinking starts. Essentialism places a strong emphasis on a person's autonomy, self-reliance, and responsibility. Here you can see the conceptual model made by Paterson and Zderad. It is a nurse and a patient engaged in a nursing dialogue. The nurse comes across as a person who is willing to help the patient. With the goal of improving, the nurse is receptive to how the patient feels. In order to have a humanistic nursing discussion, there must be openness. Moreover, Paterson and Zderad developed the 5 phases of the nursing process. For the first phase, we have the preparation of the nurse nowhere from coming to know. In this phase, the nurse assumes the role of as an investigator who is willing to take chances and is open-minded. The nurse must be adventurous and open to new experiences, accepting the decision to approach the unknown openly. Second, the nurse knowing of the other intuitively. As in a I-thou relationship, the nurse is trying to comprehend the patient at this stage rather than imposing herself or themselves as the I on the patient's thou. For the third, we have the nurse knowing the other scientifically. The nurse, acting as the observer, must look on and make an analysis from a distance. The nurse transitions from intuition to analysis at this point. Sorting, contrasting, comparing, relating, interpreting, and categorizing are all aspects of analyzing. Moving on to the fourth and fifth. For the fourth, we have the nurse complementarily synthesizing known others. This means the capacity of the nurse to establish or view themselves as a source of information, to continuously educate and advance the nursing profession, and to have greater awareness of their own acquired knowledge. For the fifth, we have the succession within the nurse from the many to the paradoxical one. In this phase, the nurse utilizes the knowledge gained in the real world clinical situation. Here, the nurse advances the problem's resolution. Paterson Zderad once said, and I quote, "Humanistic nursing embraces more than a benevolent, technically competent, subject-object, one-way relationship guided by a nurse in behalf of another. Rather, it dictates that nursing is a responsible, searching, transactional relationship whose meaningfulness demands conceptualization found in a nurse's essential or existential awareness of self and of the other." In the next part, we have the different assumptions made by the theorists in relation to the four concepts of the meta-paradigm of nursing. So for the first meta-paradigm of nursing, we have person. According to the humanistic theory of Paterson and Zderad, humans are viewed as an open energy fields with special life experiences. They cannot be predicted from knowledge of their pieces because they are energy fields that are bigger and different from the sum of their parts. Humans are seen as unique beings, dynamic, conscious, and multifaceted beings who are also capable of abstract cognition, creativity, and accountability. An aspect of an individual's high level of complexity and diversity is language, empathy, care, and the other abstract communication patterns, which allow one to learn more about oneself and of their surroundings. People should be cherished, respected, nourished, and given the opportunity to make educated decisions about their health. This may include families and our communities. The next meta-paradigm of nursing we have is health. So according to the humanistic theory or the humanistic nursing theory, there is a call from a person, a family, a community, or from humanity to help with some related issues or health-related issues. The nursing act is intrinsically linked to a man's own survival or more generally to the health illness quality of the human situation. This is not to imply that every nursing act has to do with the person's quality of living or dying. Rather, it is to suggest that every nursing act has to do with it. It goes without saying that nursing is involved with health and illnesses. The goal of nursing is to repeatedly claim health, which is regarded as essential for survival. Nurses engage in health teaching and health monitoring, which are actually many examples of nursing that may be classified as health restoring, health maintaining, or health promoting, as evidenced, for instance, by labels given to patients such as terminal, hopeless, and chronic. However, in actual practice, these human conditions call forth some of the most complete, expert, total, and beautiful nursing care. Health, taken in its narrowest meaning as freedom from disease, is not always seen as an attainable goal. As a result, nursing implies the value of some human potential beyond the limited definition of health, as the absence of disease. Nursing cares more about a person's being or assisting him in being more humanly possible in his or her specific life position, than just by their physical well-being. So for the third meta-paradigm of nursing, we have environment. So according to Paterson and Zderad, the environment represents the place where the service is delivered, the community or the world. The time and location of nursing experience might be thought of as the environment. It is the time and space as they were experienced by the nurse and or patient from an existential point of view. So for example, waiting, silence, chronicity, emergency, positioning a patient in bed, moving through space in a wheelchair, crutch walking, pacing could be considered from the standpoint of the patient's experienced space and time, or from the nurse, or as a shared event. Explorations of these kind could provide valuable insights into an important nursing phenomena, such as presence, empathy, comfort, or timing. Put the experience in the context of time, the time spent as the patient and the nurse to comprehend the nursing discussion. Even though the nurse and patient are conversing at the same period of time, to them it may feel very different. Their perceptions of time are particular to how they perceive the circumstances. So the world around the nurse and the patient is experienced through the concept of space. The hospital room, the bed, the waiting areas, the visiting areas, or any other space where the contact takes place can all be considered as space, depending on how to ease the participants or how eased the participants are and how well the setting promotes communication. The physical atmosphere can help or hurt the nursing conversation. Another element of space is place. However, this one is more subjective and belongs to the patient or the nurse. It has something to do with where I feel like I fit in or am. A person could feel out of place, at home, or accepted in the environment. The patient might not feel at ease there, but the nurse might. So within the nursing profession, time and space are converging. For instance, a patient may start to feel at home in a hospital during a prolonged stay, although initially they may have felt alien. When the nurse is aware of how the patient interacts with their environment, the nursing conversation is then strengthened. So for the last meta-paradigm of nursing, we have nursing. Paterson and Zderad define nursing as a lived experience between human beings. The discussion between the patient and nurse is one that is developing, impacting, and beneficial. They stress how crucial it is for the nurse to recognize both themselves and their patient as individual human beings and to comprehend the unique viewpoints, identity, experiences, conditions, and requirements of each patient. As a result, the nurse must alter his or her response to demonstrate a sincere presence. Paterson and Zderad refer to this as a reciprocal call and response. It is accomplished by being conscious of one's own worldview, values, comprehension, and responses as well by responding to the responses and knowledge of others. The nurse can engage in a real, therapeutic interchange of experience, understanding, and being through comprehending both the self and the other. The job of the nurse is to assist another person who needs assistance, which distinguishes nursing from other shared genuine relationships. The humanness of nursing is inextricably linked to the nursing profession. Since nursing is a human transaction, it involves all the human limits, emotions, and potentials of each patient. This exchange has an impact on the nurse, who then responds by expressing his or her perspective and real self, which has an impact on the patient. As a result, even though each person may perceive a scenario in a different way, they will all be able to relate to the shared interaction, the between, as well as its message and meaning. For instance, the nurse may have experienced caring for the patient while also giving care. They will both, however, have an experience of caregiving and care receiving through their transaction with another. Along with that, the nurse's character of being in the circumstance shapes everything she does physically. As a result, even though as a nurse might think that she only gave a patient an insulin injection, what she might actually did was an act in accordance with her own special trait and way of being at the time. By doing this, the nurse is acting as a human person and expressing herself to the client in a manner similar to how He or she administers insulin in reaction to the client's blood sugar levels. Nursing is an interhuman transactional, interrelated dialogue in which one provides care while acknowledging and expressing one's own true humanness and responding to the patient's particular humanness. This then concludes our discussion on the humanistic nursing theory made by Paterson and Zderad. Thank you so much for listening, and we hope you learn something new each and every day. As humans, we are open to growth, to learning, and of course, to shared experiences. Thank you.